sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old-style beers out at the game. Let's go, Cubby, Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Lucho Scali.
Son Ranto.
Michael.
Son Ranto.
Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Lucho Scali. Son
Welcome to the Son Ranto Show, brought to you by the Bleacher Bunch Productions on the Fans First Network and our 114 Patreon supporters. You know who you are. You're the Super Ranters, and especially Blake Beard and his tickets, Rogue Wave Creative, and the Cubs PS Plus podcast, and all of the Super Ranters who are going to join us afterwards in the Discord. But hey, welcome to a wonderful... I'm so happy!
It's the best day since, like, March 30th.
Really good.
I don't... Why? What happened March 30th?
I think that was the day before the season started.
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't really that happy that day either. So welcome to the Son Ranto Show. My name's Danny Rocket. That's Infield Fly Girl. We got Cubes fan over here, Mr. Michael Cotton. We've got very special guests we're going to bring in really quick. But first of all, what's everybody drinking to celebrate the fact that the Cubs now have one of the most sought-after managers in the major leagues?
Go for it, IFG.
I have tea. I'm drinking tea.
Yeah. Well, I saw something that inspired me for my beer choice today. So I saw this tweet from at NCapits. It says, I just talked to my 93-year-old neighbor about the council news. He was distraught, tears in his eyes, a Korean vet. His words were, that bastard council was never one of us. He never cared about the people of this state. He's dead to me. His own words. Cuts deep. Hashtag traitor.
That is amazing. And the thing that I love the most about it is just it has no place in that at all. Korean war vet.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least he's 93 years old, so he's not going to have to deal with it much longer. So it's not going to be too hard for him. Maybe would give him a year or two. I mean, he's already passed the average. So
the other thing I got to do is I got to give it.
Tonight is Founder's Dirty Bastard.
Oh,
which I'm going to put right here in my cup from beautiful, historic, glorious federal landmark Wrigley Field.
Nice.
Very nice.
Where it belongs.
Well, I will say this for the Brewers fans. They actually understand how to spell the word traitor, because when the Cardinals do it, it's TRADER every single time.
Every time.
But I am also having a Craig Counsell inspired beverage. I went to the store right before the show here, and I found Best Day Yet.
Nice.
Hazy IPA. This is a non-alcoholic brew from Best Day Brewing. So I thought I would give it a shot. It is the best day yet of this off season. So I thought that's perfect for the show. So I am going to taste it here real quick because
you make me want to sing Brand New Day from Hairspray. Heaven with a brand new day. I think that's from Hairspray. How is it? Look at the chat today. I love Tom Ricketts. What world are we living in? It's probably Tom Ricketts' burner account. Trev Take 24. And also Carrie Bronner Meyer brings up a good point. She says hashtag chance in the chat tonight. You could win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me with a message of love and doom, and also be entered to win the end of season bag of Cubs prizes. So how do you like it, Michael?
Well, I'll say, you know what? It's a lot like Craig Counsell. First taste, kind of surprising. You're like, oh, I think I like this. Here's the problem. I've had this a lot of times with these non-alcoholic IPAs. As I keep drinking down the road, I don't like it as much. But for right now, it's excellent.
So Mr. Craig Counsell is our Mr. right now. And, first I want to bring a very special guest on right away, because he was the guy I texted immediately when the news broke that Craig Counsell was going to be a Chicago Cub manager. And I'm just going to play him on with a little video. Let's just play a little 13-second video. This is of Craig Counsell and a video he made for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Through the ups and the downs, the good times and the bad, no matter what, this will always be my team. Brewers baseball is part of who I am. It's part of who we are.
It's part of who he was. It's part of who we were. But one of the guys is still one of the team, I guess, unless he gave up on everything. Mr. Eric Wheelo, welcome to the Son Ranto Show. How you holding up? You're muted.
Which is the best way to have Eric Wheelo on the show.
I know nobody's complaining about the fact that you're muted, but
yeah, that was a real piece of shit move. You bring me in with him saying he's a brewer for life. Come on.
It's what he said. These are his words from him. He said he was a brewer for life. So that makes me question if he's really a truth-telling kind of guy. So,
no, he's a lying sack of shit. That's what he is.
Now he's our lying sack.
He's a turncoat. He's a Benedict Arnold piece of shit motherfucker. That's what he is.
Woo!
He's Craig
I can
Count
taste the salt through the internet.
He's Craig Count Sellout. That's what he is. That's the name I'm giving him. He's sold out. He's sold out. Here's the thing. You know what made it worse? I was at work, so I can't just sit around like Danny looking at Twitter at my phone all fucking day. He broke the fucking news to me. He's the one that told me. I went, where? No way in hell is this happening. I knew that he wasn't going to be with the Brewers. That came out earlier in the day. So I'm like, this is going to be the Mets. It's going to be the Astros. And then I saw the story. Oh, it's going to be a team with a manager already. I'm like, okay, maybe the Padres. Maybe he goes, I don't know, somewhere. The fucking Cubs. The Cubs.
Fucking Cubs.
Yeah, well, it's because this happened, because David Ross accidentally flew a bomb to Earth in a movie called Dr. Strangelove. So he's he's not with us anymore. I mean, we were all shocked. I mean, you were shocked. I think everybody on the show was shocked.
You're like, it's like your piece of shit friend that finally turned it around, you got to celebrate and you're like, I like this guy now. I always knew he had it in him. And mine was just stages of grief. That's what that was for me.
That was a quick death. That was like a heart attack.
Right. Like your friend, you're trying to get him a date. So you're helping him out. You're showing him how to dress. You're showing him how to move around and talk to girls. And then he takes your girlfriend.
But
yeah, that's pretty true.
Well, my girlfriend's my neighbor and he's married with a wife and kids, it's just dirty. It's dirty.
We'll get into how dirty it was, but first I want to bring on another friend of ours who he texted me pretty much at the same time I was texting you the news. This is from Billy DeVore, a text. He said, "You have to let me on the pod when you rub it into Wheelo's face that you got Counsell." So here he is, Billy DeVore, here to, I guess, little Schadenfreude. Just enjoy the moment. Were you shocked, Billy?
It's just nice to be here, It feels good. I'm sorry, man. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I told it to your face when we were doing the rap. I was like, he's gone. But the Mets, I was like, that's bad. And then it's like, oh, the Cubs, even fucking worse.
Oh my God. just happy to be here. Such a Reds mentality. So I appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah, but we have the second most rings in the division. So it's fine.
True. That's true. This is true. But, recency bias, which, if it's fading with me right now. So there we go.
Well, a lot of people are pissed off in Milwaukee about it.
Pissed off's an understatement.
A vandal. Yeah. There was a vandal in Craig Counsell Park, which that's getting a new name, in Whitefish Bay, which isn't too far from the stadium, I believe. It's just right off of the lake there. Craig Counsell Park, the sign was vandalized, and it just says ass.
This I saw this. This is
So
the
good.
only joy I've felt in 2 days. And this needs to be, because we're not going to have a lot to celebrate as Brewers fans for a while now. So this needs to be a yearly tradition for at least the next 10 years. Every November 6th, we go to that fucking sign and we write ass on it, or we write douchebag, or we turn turncoat. We tar and feather it. We just get more unique with the hazing of that sign every time. And I just want to say this. He was from Whitefish Bay, and I grew up in West Dallas. We hated Whitefish Bay. That's where all the real hoity-toity piece of shit always lived. And it's just proven what I've always said is you don't trust a motherfucker from Whitefish Bay. So there we go.
Well, and it came out that Council always kind of wanted to be a Cub, I guess. He said,
Despite that video he made,
yeah, well, exactly. So he just lying to our face. We should play that again and look for that should be like an FBI trading video to find out who's lying.
you don't fucking trust dudes that live in trees like the Keebler elves. This little elf fuck, dude. That's what he is.
Well, we've been saying that for years. We're gonna all year. We're gonna try to not call him a rat face. Like all year, that's gonna be we have to go to trading. But Tom Verducci reported that Craig Counsell always wanted to end up with the Cubs, who acted as quickly as possible to secure the top manager available.
I want to apologize for the swearing. Okay, I'm just a little heated right now.
Oh my God, what?
I apologize.
I just think it's really funny that the Cubs did act to grab the top manager available, because like back in October we were being told
He's our guy.
He's our guy.
He's
Yeah.
never.
David Ross is our guy from Tom Ricketts himself.
Loyalty's a real piece of shit. And I saw the David Ross defenders, people, Cubs fans, like, how could you do this to our hero?
Yeah.
How could you do this to our boy?
I found this one out. This probably sums up how most of the Brewers fans are feeling. When we first heard the news, and dude's just vomiting on the field.
Yeah, who was that vomited?
I can't even tell who the hell that is.
Looks like it's vomiting milk too. Like who drinks milk before they pitch anyway? You deserve to vomit.
Brewers,
Somebody
baby.
with
That's
a
what's in our
vaccine
Gatorade
part
coolers.
of his milk.
Unpasteurized milk in the Gatorade
Yeah.
coolers.
For
That's
the podcast listeners, we are looking at a picture of a Brewers player on the field with vomit spewing from his mouth all the way to the ground. And yes, it looks
Are we
like
sure that's
some
not just
white-
a fan that ran on the field? Because that's pretty
I
common.
think it was Adrian Hauser.
Yeah, because he puked and then
Hauser.
went to the concourse and pissed everywhere.
right.
Yeah.
No,
he's-
I know that's not the case because the coach there has his hand on his back, like being nice. Whereas
You could be
if this was
tackling
a
him.
fan, he'd be vomiting because he just got tackled so freaking hard.
Well,
That's
I
us
can't-
every year in the playoffs. That's what that is right there. That's us. And enjoy. Can we enjoy it? Okay. Because guess what? You know what he said? You know what this fucking rat face fuck said? He said, I wanted another challenge. You want another challenge? You're 4-7 in the playoffs, buddy. You done nothing. You want some, you're the good enough gig. You done nothing in the playoffs. And now it makes me question everything. In that D-back series, he gives Jesse Winker 2 at-bats with runners in scoring position. This guy didn't see the fucking field in 2 months, and he put him in there. He tanked it on purpose. He knew what he was doing. The fix is in.
I like what Bill says in the chat here. Doctorate granted to Eric Wheelo by the Bill Suggis School of Sportsmanship.
Can you bring up his agent quote? This
Yeah.
is the first statement
Yeah,
that
this
came
is
up.
what I got a bunch of quotes that you sent me earlier so that you could be prepared for your ranting here, or at least be able to back up your heartbreak.
I came up with bullets, fuckers. All right.
I love that Billy's just on here laughing.
Yeah,
He's
he's just
no
happy to be
reason
here.
to be on this
Just
show.
happy to be a part of
Billy,
it.
we'll get to you. All right.
Oh wait,
I'm having a moment.
He's like,
I know. I wanted a front row seat, dude.
So do you want me to read this? I'll read this.
Yeah, you read it. Go ahead.
Having
Like,
represented Craig Counsell for almost 30 years and having lived in Chicago all my life. So his agent is from Chicago.
real piece of shit.
I am
All right,
thrilled.
continue.
I am thrilled to see Craig embracing a new challenge here in Chicago. Cubs
Fib
fans are
fuck.
getting a terrific manager and even better person. Craig has great admiration and respect for the Brewers ownership, general manager, and fans, and for all of Milwaukee.
Biggest lie of this statement right there.
Exactly.
Continue.
He's a lawyer, where he makes his home in Milwaukee. So he does live in Milwaukee. Well, he did live in Milwaukee. He's going to move like the Brewers. He will retain lifelong friends and
No,
memory.
he won't.
No, he won't.
No, he won't. No.
I think you're right about that. I think this
What,
lawyer is wrong.
what memories? Good being good enough. Continue.
He is excited about Chicago and
No.
is happy that multiple teams have begun to embrace the enhanced valuation of the job of major league manager because dude got paid.
Oh, he plays victim on the way out. Oh, we're not getting paid. I'm really doing something for all the other fucking managers. Okay.
All right. If Craig Counsell was the Cubs manager, I'm going to ask everybody on the panel right now.
I'll go
How
last.
many more wins do the Cubs have with Craig Counsell as the manager? IFG.
We win game 163.
So we just get like one more.
No, she's saying in that 163 game back in the day.
Oh yeah. So you're taking that one. I
Yeah.
need a time machine. No, how many more wins do the Cubs have in 2023?
I don't know. That is tough because it's really hard to figure out what the manager
give me a
really brings. But
Number.
based on
I don't want to hear your calculating. Just tell me
you
a
just want
number.
a number.
How
What
many more?
were we at? 83? I think 88.
All right, so 5 games.
This year.
Yeah.
If he was the manager of
This year, 2023. That's what I said too. On
Oh yeah, next
Government-
year's going to be over 100, Wheelo.
how many more games? How many more games would he have meant for the Reds? Do you think? Did you hate your manager that much?
No, I didn't hate. I don't hate him that much. I mean, the only flaw is that he gets too many pinch hitters. That's a minor flaw.
He
That sounds
bought
like a major.
too many pinch hitters. Is that what you're saying?
He's always
Yeah, I
pinch
mean,
hitting.
it gets to the 8th and it's like, oh, we got to flip everybody. So if that's his big downfall, that's nothing, you know.
That's kind of our guys. That was Ross's one of his annoyances.
I thought his problem was he wouldn't use a hitter. And
Yeah,
he left the babies on the bench. Damn it! Like Counsell would not have done that.
Yeah, I feel that's true. But like Eric,
Well, ask Eric. Eric's seen
How
way
many-
more of this team than we have. Would he have brought the youngsters and allowed them to play?
100%. And this is what I've made the argument on this pod about Craig Counsell. If he coached this Cubs team, that he would have developed that talent, gave them chances, sent them down when they're struggling, bring them back up, get them primed for the end of the season. That's what he does the best. And you guys sat here and you're just like, Ross is just wasting this. He's not developing anything. He's just,
Ross couldn't even keep the DH through an entire game. I mean,
yeah, exactly. He's like, what?
Craig.
We don't need it.
I,
This coming from
how many times have I
Australia.
said Craig was the Milwaukee Brewers in so many ways, and this starts with ownership. Bring up that our
Yeah,
owner.
well, we're
Mark
breaking
Anastasio
news
quote.
in Australia,
There
though.
we go.
Yeah, this is Dallas Kilponen in Australia right now says, hang on, what? When did this all go down?
Oh, Jesus
Times
Christ.
like these, I feel like I'm on another planet down here. Counsell is the new manager. Yes, Dallas, Counsell is the manager. Breaking news. First, I want to bring up I will bring up that Anastasio comment because I find it hilarious. But I'm also going to bring up a tweet of yours from September of this year.
Yes.
When you said Craig Counsell signs a lifetime contract, owns the Cubs for years to come. So, little did you know he'd be owning them in a Cubs uniform.
Do you know what this? Do you know what this was in reference to? They're like, we have a major announcement, and that's what I posted. And I said, this is what it is. This is going to be the thing. This is going to be the
Counsell
big
forever.
fuck. And then it's an announcement that we got a sponsorship that's going to go on the jerseys with a fucking bank.
Oh my God, that
they couldn't even pay him.
A bank.
That sounds like a great segue over here to Trey Anastasio, or that's how his name, Mark.
Another
Mark Anastasio's in fish. Yeah,
another
fish
rat face fuck. This guy too. Fuck him as well. He can go.
he
to
looks like
fucking
Jerry
hell.
Springer, kind of in his younger days.
Oh, he does. He looks like a young Jerry Springer for sure.
He's the reason this is happening.
Yeah. So Brewers owner Mark Atanasio. No, he just spelled it wrong, right?
Antanasio.
Atanasio. That's his name. All right.
Yeah.
He shares his thoughts on the Craig Counsell's departure. He said, "We lost Craig, but I've reflected on this. You know, Craig has lost us.
Oh, fuck me. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. That's what this seems.
You're not breaking up with me.
I'm breaking up with you first.
Right.
And he's lost our community. It's a really special place to be. And I think he did mean short bus special. I don't think
You're gonna be really mad when I get that good job and I lose 20 pounds.
Let me tell you about Mark, the fucking egotistical cheap prick this guy is. On opening day every year, he has his fucking dad come out and sing the national anthem, and he sucks.
Now I got to go to a Brewers opening day.
The fucking asshole I know. And that cheap prick, dude, he never gave Craig, he never made that big splash, a big free agent signing, never gave him the pieces. And I get it. Craig, you don't turn down money. You never question any man's or woman's money. You don't question what people make, man. What they make is what they're worth, right? I don't question that. I don't.
Yeah,
I get why he wants to go to you. You're going to spend the money. You're going to give him the opportunity to take a team with actual talent around it and bring it to win.
Well, I won't go that far. I mean, have you seen the willingness of the Cubs to spend money on anything?
Okay, so is Ricketts lying to him because he sounds optimistic? They probably sold him on a lot of stuff. Like, if I'm a Cubs fan, I'm optimistic. Craig's not coming here.
We're getting Ohtani, we're getting Soto, we're loading up for the year.
Yeah. Half of my brain is like, we're gonna go just sign like everybody, and the other half of my brain is like, we spent $1 billion on a sports book that nobody can gamble in.
But if you just do half of that with this Cubs team, because with Craig, you don't need all of it. You can make a couple of splashes and he can develop the talent and make this team great. He can manage that bullpen. He can find arms. He can develop arms. That's the thing you're getting with Craig is he can do less with more because he's proven he can. And that's the awesome thing about the Cubs getting him. That's why I'm excited.
I would like him to do more with more. I would like him to do more with lots more.
Yes. Well, do you want to be the Bankies and pay for your fucking championship, or do you want to earn them?
No, I want to buy it with money.
Yeah, we don't care how we get.
It's not my money.
Yeah, we just want to win. I don't really care anymore.
This is why I've always been good enough because I have integrity, unlike you pieces of shit.
Joe Kilgallen. Joe Kilgallen.
Here I am trying to make you feel comfortable in my knockoff Brewers uniform.
Our friend Joe Kilgallen in the chat says, I think 4 million goes farther in Wisconsin than 8 million does in Illinois. I think that's definitely true. But my question is this. So Craig Counsell, known for doing a lot with a little. He's known for not taking the highest payrolls in the world and bringing them to at least to the playoffs where he loses usually. But are you a little frightened as a Cubs fan that means like, oh, this guy is so efficient. We can just get a bunch of also-rans and we'll be right there in the postseason tournament. Like, is that part of it? Or is it going to be like what they did with Joe Madden where they signed Madden and they're like, all right, we're all in. We're going for the World Series. We're going to load up. We're getting Lester. We're getting Dexter Fowler. We're getting everybody that we got. Zobrist came with Madden. Like, Michael, you brought up a point. I think it was you in the Discord about, does he come with somebody? Was that you?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering because, just like who Counsell is, he's probably got players that like him who might want to come to the Cubs just because they want to play with Craig Counsell still. And I don't know. I didn't know. I literally don't know who that might be.
Corbin Burns.
Yes.
We'll start there.
I was just about to say,
we'll start there.
Let's get us some Corbin Burns.
Now, is he hurt?
No, that's Brandon Woodruff.
That's Woodruff's
He's
hurt.
going to miss the majority of this season, if not the whole season. But
Corbin as long as Burns doesn't play, doesn't start opening day, because he always loses starts opening day at Wrigley.
Yeah, exactly. We can't have that. That's his thing. Joe says, Zobrist came Madden's second season with the Cubs, and how
about Josh Hader? Another one. Let's listen to this. I think that's part of this process of Counsell slowly, Brewers always said bites of an apple, and it pissed us off because that was their approach. We just take bites out of the fucking
that's
apple.
our approach too. It's
I
just want all of the bites from the apple.
Hader ended that season. That season had a vibe. It had an energy. We were in first place. You trade him off to get some stuff. It worked out because we did get William Contreras. and they have a plan in place, but that deflates that locker room, which Craig has to manage. And I mean, why wouldn't Josh want to go back and play with the dude he had the best years of his life with and go to the Cubs?
You brought up a Contreras, which we got to.
Yeah, let's see this. I love this.
So Wilson Contreras on the Real Cub Zone. I don't know if this was just a tweet that they screenshot and put out. Anyway, they wrote that the Cubs were hiring Craig Counsell as their manager, and Wilson Contreras wrote in a now deleted message on this picture about time. So
only time I've ever liked him.
Maybe a little hot under the collar about his former manager. Possibly.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we all kind of knew the writing on the wall the whole time, and we knew this for years coming, was that they did not like Wilson Contreras. They blamed it on framing. They blamed it on him being a hothead, not working with the pitchers well. They blamed all this sort of stuff. But, Wilson and obviously Ross, we're not seeing eye to eye if he's willing to write that on an Instagram page.
Baby brother William had a few thoughts too.
That he's losing him.
Yeah, just the face palm.
Yeah. So a lot of the Brewers probably aren't too happy about this. And who's the next one in? There's Joe Murphy.
Yeah, I sent you a Ken Rosenthal thing.
I think all the Brewers players probably understood that he wasn't coming back, but yeah, I'm sure they're all pretty shocked that it's the Cubs, that they're going to see him still quite a bit this year.
So it looks like, according to Rosenthal, the bench coach Pat Murphy, Don Mattingly, who's in Toronto or fired from Toronto, I don't know. Joe Espada, who was at Houston before, but I guess he got caught up in all that cheating stuff. There's Dodgers first base coach Clayton McCullough, Astros hitting coach Troy Snitker, who I think was a player, and former Brewers second baseman Ricky Weeks.
Oh my God, Ricky Weeks!
Wow,
wild card.
So my vote is for Don Mattingly because he is just like perfect with Birdie the Brewer.
It's lovely.
You can see they've got a similar style. I think.
Well, and I think Don would love this too, because he would just not even show up and just let Bernie stand in the dugout.
Yeah, no one would know the difference.
Yeah, Don would just be up drinking in the chalet.
They switch spots.
Speaking of switching spots, why don't they just go and get some David Ross?
Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine?
Because he's going to the Padres to manage all those veterans. Come on.
Oh, I know, right?
You know what I want?
Can you imagine the Padres don't sell off? Ross does go to the Padres and they win it all. Oh my God. Did I just call that? I think I did.
Oh,
Ross,
market.
If we're not going to be good, we at least need to be interesting. And David Ross needs to be the Brewers manager. That's what needs to happen.
I mean, I think that's the funniest possible outcome.
I think it would be the best possible outcome of all time. Spite meets spite. Let's be spiteful. You saw our owner.
You think that would be good until he runs off your Contreras.
Our Contreras?
Yeah. No, I said you think it'd be great to have Ross, and then he runs your Contreras off just like you ran ours off.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, he's gonna tweet face palms again. As soon as he's just gonna retweet himself as soon as they hire Ross. So he's gonna just double face palm.
It's a squirt gun emoji.
I think whoever this is, it's gonna be 3-4 years. I don't think it's forever. I think you have to keep Pat Murphy because he comes from that council tree, and if he doesn't get that job, he's going to the Cubs, which just only makes the Cubs better. He's got that locker room heart. He's the fiery dude on the team. I think it has to be Pat Murphy. That's what I would pick. That's what I want. But
come on, Mattingly, Mattingly and Birdie, you gotta go. I liked this kind of angle of it too, with that it's such a cold-blooded sort of hiring and firing here. Patrick Mooney tweeted out, the Cubs way reappeared in a cold-blooded move that left David Ross out of a dream job that made Craig Counsell $40 million richer. The talk of culture and family is mostly empty rhetoric. It's not that different here. The manager just needs better players. And then I like what you said, IFG. oh my God, are upper middle class white men just now discovering that the company you work for doesn't literally consider you part of the family?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, we are just
You ain't wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Well, and to be fair, that whole Cubs way thing, that was Theo and Madden. Those guys are not with this team. They haven't been for a few years. So, like, we don't know what the Cubs way is anymore. As far as I could tell, the Cubs way was play all the wrong players until you literally just couldn't help but to play the right players and then miss the playoffs by one game. That's what I thought. Now, I will say that this hiring threw me for a real loop because you all know I have been on Jed's ass all season long, right? I've been blaming him for all this stuff. But what this makes me think is that was Ross actually down there in the dugout with a backbone and not doing what his general manager wanted him to do, or president of operations, whatever? Like, we all, me, I will say for sure, had the, sort of idea that he was just doing what he was told.
Yeah, and
now it feels like maybe that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And he was just bad at his job.
Yes.
And he was just bad at his job. Well, that makes me feel a lot better, because my thought was changing the manager won't make any difference, because I thought the problems were higher up. These guys just not recognizing who should be, like, what their talent level is, and bringing guys up when they should be coming up. But maybe I'm gonna have to give Jed one more year and see, because
I don't know.
These guys were supposed to be coming up, but Ross just kept doing dumb shit like putting Canario on the bench.
Yeah, and that maybe was a thing that they thought was dumb, or maybe that was something they all decided together. I don't know, but what I do think is that Council fell into their lap, because he got offers from other teams that weren't as high. He got an offer from the Brewers that wasn't as high, and he turned it down. He called the Cubs. So to ensure this stayed quiet, Hoyer was the only person to meet with Council. Very few people in the front office were aware of the meeting, and Council never came to the Cubs offices adjacent to Wrigley Field. The two had very little interaction prior to that meeting on November 1st, but seemed to hit it off quickly and talk deep into the night. So, like, I think this is just something that fell into their lap. I don't think that they had any plan. I think they would have gone right out there with David Ross. I think it's a lot like the Madden situation, which is like, what? There's an anomaly in his contract that means we could get this guy. I think that because it all happened so quickly.
I don't know. Those stories that you just mentioned, man, they're all over the place today. I wonder why that story is getting out there. I wonder why they're so adamant to create a timeline that does not start prior to November 1st. Seems weird.
Well, on November 1st, that was the day that... Did I tell you what I did on November 1st?
Were you hearing this? That
I
Craig
bet they
reached
just
out
can't
to?
say that they had been talking about this, because remember, Moneybags over here was like, David Ross is our guy.
Yeah.
That's the kiss of death. You never want your owner
He's our guy.
to say he's our guy.
And what's most interesting, and Andy brought it up, is like, who's going to be the next pitching coach? I mean, Craig Counsell is the master at building stuff in the dugout, man. I mean, thanks a lot for Derek Johnson. Like, he's been great with the Reds, and he started with the Brewers as a pitching coach. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing down there, and that's going to make a huge difference for you guys.
That's what she said.
Which is,
Our owner said all of our bench coaches, pitching coaches, hitting coaches, all the coaches on the team are coming back. I don't know if he just said that and it's a complete lie. He came out with that stated, oh, no, all the other coaches are coming back. I'm like, how? In what way? Yeah, like, you're just saying things to say things. Like,
could they promote your bench coach?
Yeah, and
that's the Pat Murphy thing.
That's Murphy.
Yeah, that's Murphy, right?
So if
so
they
can
get
just promote
Murphy,
him.
then they get everybody else. Chris Hook stays, who's our pitching coach, and you keep everybody. And we have a lot of great guys that develop in the minors. Like, you see every catcher that comes to the Brewers, they immediately, their metrics and pitch framing immediately improve. They've done it time and time again. So it's like there's a system in place. But the thing fucking hey, what was I going to say about Council? Oh, the deal. We had an offer on the table that was going to make him the highest paid manager in baseball. They said it was around $5 million. Then you fuckers come in with your yacht and you offer 8.
Yeah.
Did you see Did you see the tweet of we offered Council $5.5 million that would be next to the foul pole? That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean the Good Enough gang, they ride again, and
but first time they knew it. They did offer the money. It would have made him the highest paid manager in baseball with one of the smallest markets in the league, which is a huge splash for the Brewers. So I commend him for that. But the thing that sucks is he started these meetings with the Cubs, and he said it was his dream team to play for, and then shut the phone off. Didn't let the Brewers counter it. That was his choice.
Yeah, well, because he found out he could do it, because they maybe didn't think that they were going to get rid of Ross. Ross had a job, and that's what's cold-blooded about it. So, in some ways, people are like, oh, this is great. He's getting manager salaries to go up for all the managers by setting a new record. Not just setting a new record, but blowing through it. And then the question is, okay, he's raising the salary as he totally stabs a manager in the back from the rival Cubs and goes behind his back, steals his dude's job.
Anybody else? You
know what? Everybody wants a meritocracy until the popular guy gets fired for being bad at his job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all bad and downhill as soon as Craig Counsell shaves a mohawk,
I will say to go to Cotton's point of, was Ross not listening to that front office, the GM and the way he managed? You have to remember, Counsell came and started with Stearns in the front office, learning metrics, learning all the intricacies. In his first couple of years, he was getting calls and just doing what was told. And he's about it. So if you didn't think Ross was going to do it, Counsell's the guy where he's all in and he's like, I'm just going to do what I'm told and I'm going to execute it. And he just knows it so well now over 10 years that it's just implemented. It's just part of the system. So if Ross wasn't doing it and Jed wanted this dude, it's the perfect dude to have. And it's the reason they talk deep into the night.
Yeah, I want to know what that looked like. Should I open another bottle of wine?
Here, I can do it with my nose.
This is an interesting question from the chat here. Terry E says, "Hey, do you guys think Counsell would let an exhausted shortstop dictate when he takes days off?"
Oh, he's not a hard ass. And the thing is he's a former player and he's a team guy, and he doesn't let it get to that point. So you said Ross just ran these dudes into the ground, and that's why
this is more like your shortstop is clearly exhausted and can't hit baseballs, but he's like, I gotta play every single day because I'm the play every day guy. Is Counsell going to tell him to sit down?
Yes, he will. He will make it very clear that you're not playing. You need a day off. He's been nothing but great with rest. And you'll look at some of these lineups and you're like, what is this dog shit? But he cares so much, and he puts lineups together that win. Like, just wait for your Sunday lineups to come out. You'd be like, this is really what we're doing to win this series. And you do. And it's impressive.
Well, that would be a surprise because our Sunday lineups all 2023 were a freaking mess. How long did we go? We went like 3 months without winning on a Sunday.
Yeah, we'd never won Sundays. Well, I want to throw up a couple more pictures, and then we'll have to take a break and let you go. But look how fast that Counsell got some new Cubs gear. Look how nice he looks in that hat and sweatshirt that somebody bought him.
Is that your sweatshirt?
Yeah, I loaned it to him. I was like, hey, you got nothing.
Stop by
look how good he looks. That must be a new Cubs hat that came out. It's just
nobody's ever said looks good in Counsell in the same sentence, but continue.
He made Jed's eyes pop out of his head in this picture. His eyes literally popped out. And then here's a Brewers fan who was so angry that he turned red. That standing next to Craig Counsell in a Cubs uniform. And I want to put this up about some of the stats just because we didn't even say what they were for the podcast listeners that might be curious. 9 seasons as the Brewers manager, 707 and 625 as a record. That's a .531 winning percentage. He was above 500 in 6 of 9 seasons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
5 postseason berths. 4 sorry.
Wrong birth.
Oh yeah, 4 postseason appearances before he took over as manager. So was he a player manager?
No, he was not.
No. All right.
I mean, kind of.
Kind of, I guess, yeah, because he.
Oh, I think they're just saying that even when he was just playing, he had like the most postseasons of any Brewer.
So this is from Adam McCalvey, at Adam McCalvey on Twitter, and he says Prince Fielder asked to give an example of how Craig Counsell helped him out as a teammate. He says, there was one time I was thinking about bunting. He told me if I bunted, he would punch me in the face. Now, Craig Counsell is not a traditionally attractive man, but that is sexy. That's what I want. That's my manager.
That's probably because he got punched in the face a lot from saying things like that to Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder's like, how about I just punch you in the face now?
Yeah.
Get this over with.
Then he never got his nose fixed. Just the Owen Wilson effect. Wow.
You know what comes with Counsell, though, is the curse of Counsell. And whatever team beats you in the playoffs, does that carry over? Whatever team beats you in the playoffs is going to the World Series?
We're going to find out. I mean, maybe it's that the curse is over, that it was just a Brewers curse. Although we are no stranger to curses ourselves.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. Lisa Cram in the comments says, puts lineups together that win. ... except in the postseason. delete. Sorry, delete. Trying to delete.
Well, I did.
At least we got in.
I got one more thing to say about it is that there's this Phillies fan. This guy kind of went viral on Twitter, and he's actually a Brewers fan who lives in Philadelphia, and he wants Brewers fans to learn a thing or two for how Phillies fans operate. So do you see this? So it's Bucks in Philly. That's what this guy's name is. In light of recent events, it's time for Brewers fans to unleash the nuclear option on Cubs fans. It's time for Milwaukee to become Midwestern Philadelphia.
Well, we're already peeing in the stadium. So
yeah, exactly. You might as well just go full hog and be Midwestern Philly. As a Milwaukeean who lives in Philly, I've learned a lot from them. Here's how you can make Cubs fans hate being there. Number 1, show up in force to the games for once.
Right. That would help. It would help for them to sell their own tickets.
Yeah. Number 2, never gives Cubs fans a moment's peace. You see anyone wearing Cubs gear, boo them. I don't mean a meek little boo. I mean loud and constant. Be as obnoxious as possible. Get everyone in your group to join in. See, the problem with that is there's more of us at the game than there are of you guys. So,
well, hey, step 1. Step 2 comes after step 1.
Yeah. Well, they tried that by the Milwaukee only tickets. Number 3, if they try to talk back, this seems like it's part of 2, but if they try to talk back, boo even louder and shift to chanting asshole over and over again. Don't ever let them get a word in edgewise.
Okay.
Number 4, during the game, constantly give them shit. Starts chants like fuck the Cubbies. Okay. 5, if the Brewers win, turn it up to 11. Give them shit the entire way. So basically, number 2 through 5 is just give Cub fans shit.
I got a quick one. Number 6 showed up. Oh, not that one.
Number 6 is face palm.
Number 6. And another thing. I'm not mad. Please don't put it in the newspaper that I got mad.
Number 7, throw batteries at Santa.
Yes, exactly. This is the approach I took coming into this podcast tonight. The Phillies fan. There we go.
Well, I feel like all of that was kind of like when you and Crawley were at that Brewers Cubs game together, right? Wasn't that just Crawley all night?
It was Crawley he's got Philly energy to him. He was shirtless at one point. He was buying Mai Tais. He was running up and down the stairs.
Yeah, we
yelling. Dude, there's families looking at us. I mean, Crawley is an amazing dude to go game with.
He went hard for a Tuesday, did he not?
Yeah. He's singing on the bus. I'm like, they're gonna kick us off. He's singing Michael Jackson, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Bon Jovi going on. I think we did "Living on a Prayer" or something.
He couldn't even stand, but luckily the bus had the "oh shit" bar, so he's like swinging around. He fell into my lap.
His ass just in my face. Yeah. He was telling me he was telling me on the bus there that he's always been frightened that he was going to lose everything in his life that he ever worked for. and then on the way home, he's like, "Sweet Caroline." I'm like, well, I wonder why you wonder that. So, well, I did get one good thing. A former Cub really liked something that I tweeted out, and that I've decided to call the Cubs lineup next year Craigslist. I don't know if Brewers fans were clever enough to come up with that over the 9 years you had him.
We did not. We're not clever folk.
I guess not.
Our brains are polluted with hops and depression.
But look,
Okay, so am I. What's your excuse?
look who gave me 2 gold medals. Former Cub pitcher great Will Omen. I believe he pitched for the Brewers as well for a while. Did he not?
To be fair, this is the new Twitter, and that could be anyone.
No, I looked it up. He used the real Will Omen. I mean, because who's going to be, I'm going to impersonate Will Omen. Like, who's going that deep into the archives? I don't know. You'd have to be a pretty serious troll. Be like, I think this is how I finally make my millions, by impersonating a middle relief pitcher from
it's probably the burner account for a much better pitcher.
It's Carlos Zambrano, really. So, well, Eric,
I got a question for Billy real quick, because you see these free agents. You just lost Joey Votto. I saw somebody put it in the chat. There's rumors, Cubs. How would you feel?
Yes, please. I need a first baseman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he went to the Cubs, that would absolutely suck. But I mean, Joey Votto said it himself. You know, I'm not worth what they were going to pay me for a guy who went back-to-back years hitting 200. He gets it. He understands it. And do you understand? I didn't ask how Joey felt. I asked, how would you feel, Billy? I'm fine, man. I got a front row seat to watch him for the past 17 years. And it's been an honor and a privilege. But if he went to the Cubs, it'd be like, well, they'll DFA you faster.
It's like when Monsanto became a White Sox.
Eric is just praying that the Cubs pick him up, and then he can come on the show where we roast you.
Yeah. Great. Let's be like, cool. You'll do the same thing to Hosmer. Like what to Hosmer. It's fine.
I think I want to put a finer point on the question. Would you, Billy DeVore, in your own sound mind and body, be happier if Joey Votto retired a Red, having never been anything but a Red, or that he got another year to play at beautiful historic Wrigley Field?
The first one. For sure, the first one.
Oh, absolutely. I just saw you start to get, like, Billy started to tear up a little bit.
No, Joey Votto,
when he was just listening to IFG go through that, like, he was like,
he's my dad.
Yeah.
Joey Votto in another uniform is an abomination.
Did they throw him out of that last game? I fully agree
with you, Danny Rocket, and also I would buy a Joey Votto Cubs uniform the day it was available.
Dude, the way that he went out in his last game is the most Joey Votto way ever.
They threw him out.
Threw him out at fucking Busch Stadium, that fucking piece of shit dump, and that ump had sand in his eye or toaster ravioli. Who gives a shit? That thing was so fucking inside. Then Joey's like, "Come on, do you know what the fuck this is?" And yeah, you know, you got to get to emos early or whatever.
Oh man,
Danny, you're itching to get to this video break. Like, are you getting paid for sponsorships? Like, what's the rush here?
No, I got a song I want to play.
Oh,
and yeah, I've got a new song that I said I was going
to make a drink.
Yeah, if you want to sit around and talk about Marcus Stroman leaving our team.
Well, I'm not done because well, let's tease him with this. I got some positive things to say about Council after the video.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We're going to play a video. We're going to play a quick commercial break, and everybody stick with us. We'll be right back. Bill, you going to stick with us or you going to take off?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. Billy,
plan my night for this. This is all I got.
We got Craig. We stole from the Brewers. He's got a brain that's like a computer. Manager Craig, he knows when to play them, knows when to pitch hit them. knows how to use a bullpen. Highly rated. He's not David. Craig Counsell's all right.
All over Chicagoland, there are thirsty, frazzled, overworked Cubs podcasters who are struggling to survive one more baseball season in the dog-eat-dog world of unpaid content creation. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can make a difference. Become a super ranter at patreon.com/sunranto, where your support ensures that poor, sad, pathetic, ugly, loser Cubs podcasters can pay for tickets and beer, and in turn line the pockets of the baseball oligarch Ricketts family. Just $1 a month can buy a scorecard. $5 a month can pay for guitar strings to write a Cubs song. And $10 a month almost buys one beer at Wrigley Field. Cubs content creators are the lowest pieces of pond scum garbage that slither over the face of this planet. But super ranters help them get drunk and screw off at baseball games. What do you get out of it? The Sun Ranto Show delivered to your podcatcher without stupid advertisements like the one you're seeing and hearing right now. Plus, at other Super Ranter levels, you can get Cubs music, access to private Sun Ranto pages, the Ranter calendar, and special thanks and Ranter recognition in our live broadcasts, plus eligibility for monthly prizes. What does Sun Ranto get out of it? Your money. For tickets and beer. Go to patreon.com/sunranto. That's patreon.com/sunranto. And become a Super Ranter today. Welcome back. I want to play one more video, and that is Infield Fly Girl describing the new contest that we're going to have called Project Warning Track. Just check this out because you're going to want to participate.
You've heard of Project Warning Track and you've got questions. I'm IFG and I'm here to answer them. On the Sun Ranto Show, we are starting a competition using 4 size 5XL jerseys. What I want you to do is send me in a drawing, a small sketch of what you would do if you had one of these big, huge jerseys. You just want to snatch that thing in and make it fit you perfectly. We love it. Want to get all Elton John with it, add some sequins and feathers? Great. Got a baby in the family? You want to turn that thing into a quilt? Love to see it. Get as creative as you can. Get some friends and family involved and make it a group project. Now, if you are not one of the top 3 sketches chosen to receive one of those jerseys, we still want to see your creative juices flow. Bring your own jersey. Bring 15 jerseys. Make it a huge king-size blanket. I don't know what you want to do with it. Make a tent. But we really do want to get as many people involved as possible. Bring your own jersey, can still win the grand prize. We don't even know what the prize is yet, but I'm sure Danny's going to come up with something great. Now, we will collect sketches for the next week. If we only receive 3, we'll just draw lots as to who gets which name, send those out, and then you'll have 2 weeks from the time that we send out the jerseys to record a video of your finished product. And then we'll do the judging live on the Sun Ranto Show. Now, if we get more than 3 sketches and your sketch is not chosen, bring your own jersey and keep, get involved in the game as well. Nothing is off limits. You can use anything you want to. If, you get this thing and you're like, you know what I really need is a cover to my folding camp chair that I bring to all my kids' Little League games. That sounds great to me. Do that. Make a hammock out of it, sew it onto the back of your bomber jacket, whatever works for you. Just get as creative as you can, make something that you love, and that you're going to feel awesome showing off to the rest of the ranters. Good luck, guys. I hope you have a great time.
And here I am wearing one of the 4 oversized jerseys. As you can see, you have plenty of material to work with. I'm normally like a XL or a large, and this thing's ginormous. So anything to add, IFG, to the rules of what we're doing there?
Nothing particular out of the rules. They're pretty simple. We just want to like have some fun with it. We were donated these jerseys. The original idea was just to find some people who wanted them and give them away, and then we sort of decided right here on the show I think it was during the marathon, wasn't it? To turn it into a game,
Design
like
a
Project
competition.
Runway. So Danny over here is going to be Tim Gunn.
I'm working on
Cotton-
my Tim Gunn impression. Contestants, Cub fans, let's try to make something work here. Pretty good, huh?
And we're gonna stick Cotton in some like high heel shoes, and he can go as Heidi Klum.
You better believe it. They call me the body.
That's why you're on the show. You're just the face. You're just the face.
So I was asked to take part in the competition because I like to do artsy craftsy things. So I made a sketch while I was on the phone with a client at work and decided, hey, what if a jersey but a 14th century sideless surcoat? So here's my sketch. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just give us, a general idea what you're kind of going for here. This is like an outer dress that you'd wear. So like the underarms on it would go like all the way down. And there would be a dress underneath it and big flowy skirt. We're going to move the words around so that it looks cool, make some buttons down the front. I don't know. I might add fur to it. Who knows?
We have to have a fashion show in the bleachers. Like it's already set up with like, I mean, you'd have to have some models who have some balance because it's kind of difficult to do the bleacher seat, but you could walk the runway of the bleacher seat.
More energy.
Well,
More passion. Cover girl. Let's work.
And to add to this, this is just an opportunity. Even if you get one of these jerseys, you can add other jerseys to it. And if you don't get a jersey and you still want to do it, we've all sat around and looked at something and been like, I'm going to do something with that someday. And you never do. This is your opportunity to do it and show it off and have some fun.
And we got prizes
if you're
now.
Listening to this and you're thinking, I would really like to play, but I don't know how to use a sewing machine. Do you know anybody who does? Also, like, get some of that stitch glue stuff, like fabric glue. It's fine. Like, it doesn't have to be great.
Oh yeah, those Project Runway shits fall apart as soon as they're not on camera.
Yeah.
The second you do.
Like our birds team.
Also, make it a group project. Does the lady in your life do artwork and sewing? Do you have an old lady neighbor who is a Cubs fan who would like to help you out with this? Go to the Stitch and Bitch at your local community center or your church or whatever. Cotton, didn't your
Wait, they have stitching bitches at churches now? Like, what? I haven't been around religion for a while. If they're doing things called,
they probably call it like ladies sewing night.
The Stitch and Bitch is off hours.
That's late night with the priests.
Didn't Lady Cotton come up with something pretty cool?
She did. So, we wanted to show this because it's not just stuff to wear. Emily came up with this idea. She's calling this the Bleacher Bum Bag, and bum is for your bum to sit on a little seat. So she looked up what the dimensions are that are allowed at Wrigley, and there's gonna be a seat attached to it, and there's gonna be a bag, and she wants to make a water bottle cooler. Sure, water bottles. That you can put in it, but yeah, so this is her plan, but you'd sit the seat down and then the bag would hang under your legs and you'd have places to put your stuff. So that's what she's trying to do. So, we've got two completely different ideas.
I see beer bat holder on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
She has a beer bat holder because
Brilliant.
that was the only thing that I came up with. She had all this other stuff and she's like, what else should I put on it? I'm like, well, last time I was at a game, I saw these idiots with their beer bat and there was no place to put them. I was like, if you can figure out a way to have that hold a beer bat.
I'd like to add a cup snake chopper.
Ooh. Is that like a propeller? Is it
maybe it's something I could detach and throw at it. like a boomerang or something.
Yeah.
That's like would just whip it right off that back.
But obviously, those are two completely different ideas. Everything has a spot here. You can come up with whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we just want to help people get creative. Also, why don't you, while you're at it, put hashtag Chance in the chat and win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me with a message of love and doom. So, and also, who are they sending these sketches to?
You can send them. Let's see. You can send them to me on Twitter at infieldflygirl right here with the no I in girl. If you are in the Sun Ranto Discord, there is a page in there. There's a channel in the Discord that's Project Warning Track. You can drop it in there. If you reach us through Twitter or Facebook,
you can tag Danny
into any of those things with a tag hashtag Project Warning Track, and we'll get them.
And we're hoping to pick our contestants by next show. So get it done this week. You have this week to do it until the next show, which will probably be next Wednesday.
Yeah, and we don't need a pattern coming out of like a simplicity packet. Okay, like doodle something on the phone like I did. It was fine.
Yeah, there's a small prototype.
Give us some idea of what you're looking at doing, and we'll pick which ones seem pretty cool. And if we get a whole bunch of them in, maybe we'll do like a Twitter poll to decide who gets one of these jerseys.
Who gets So Little Yumper asks, this is Tom asking the question, is Wheelo okay? And I do wonder, are you okay? This is as nice as I'm going to be on the show.
That took a really long time to even blink.
Oh, he's muted again.
He's muted.
No, I'm not muted. I just don't know how I feel. I'm here. I just don't know how I feel right now.
You're at the blame step of grieving.
I mean, we just went through this as Cubs fans when we lost actual players. Like,
Everybody we loved.
I mean, by the time I loved Madden in the time, but by the time it was over at the end, I was ready for that to be over. And then David Ross, I've never disliked a manager so much as David Ross. And Sarah Sanchez was saying to me, oh, well, you mean you liked Tom Treblehorn? And I'm like, no, I just didn't think that those teams were going to be any good anyway. I didn't think I never thought like anything about Tom Treblehorn. But David Ross, I actively did not like. Tom Cooper, too, in the chat. Yeah. Kudos to Wheelo for being a good sport and showing up today. I agree. Because you knew that we were that. I mean, I brought Billy on basically to make fun of you.
just have at it. I mean, I'm sitting here with egg on my face, man. Like, I knew maybe
me feel bad for you.
It wouldn't be the Brewers. It's weird because if you went through the stages of it throughout the season, I'm like, Craig's back, or he takes a year off and he goes somewhere else. And then slowly but surely, I'm like, there's something up. There's something going on here. And then it turns out Craig was feeling everything I was feeling, because I think you guys knew, like, my tone changed from when I first started coming on this podcast of like, we're here, we're young, we're a great team, we're rising. We're going in opposite directions in a lot of ways. And we had a great manager and the team had a spark and we're making playoffs. And then we were just doing it too consistently, but not doing anything with it. And my big phrase here was, we were the good enough gang. And I just feel like Craig felt that. So it's like, how do I blame Craig for feeling the exact same way I felt as a Brewers fan? But there's no jumping off as a Brewers fan. As Craig Counsell, you can go to the shinier new toy with more money and more opportunities and bigger splashes and those players that you always needed with the Brewers. So
I got someone for you to make a splash for your team and make people excited in Milwaukee. Marcus Stroman. He opted out of his Cubs contract. And I wondered to myself, like, do you think he wishes he could take that back? He's like, oh, shit, they got Counsell. Yeah. Oh, damn. And now I already opted out.
What does he think he's worth that he opts out? Like, what is... Here's the difference. Wade Miley opted out of a $10 million deal with the Brewers before Craig Counsell even signed with the Cubs. So that's what I was like, things are going rocky here. I'm like, the tide is shifting when Wade Miley says, I don't want to play for the fucking Brewers.
That is pretty sad because, like, because Wade Miley's not going to get more than $10 million anywhere, right?
No.
He just doesn't want to be there.
No, he's loved his time here too, and that's what you've heard. He's just such a great locker room dude, and he had a pretty stellar year. He has his ups and downs, but he always comes back. He had a sub-4 ERA. He was in the threes. I mean, I think he had 10 wins this year. When that guy's healthy, he's consistent. He's a great locker room guy that develops talent and around him. He's kind of a Counsell in that way.
He's the Star Trek movies of pitchers. He's good every other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Eric, I got something here that might make you feel a little bit better. I picked this up. This dude is a little too optimistic. Y'all are missing the real beauty of this. When the Brewers win the division next year, Cubs fans will be furious that they have the highest paid manager, fired a Cubs legend, and still didn't get it done. Managers are managers. We will get a new one.
I do have that fear. By the way, I did have that thought. It's
There's
just
a
like
non-zero chance.
And if you look at this, like I don't know, this is off of Reddit. It says 2024 record 94-68 first place. So
I stayed up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You can go ahead.
No. It's I have always had a lot of respect for Craig Counsell. And I did a quick search while one of those songs was playing. And I feel like after all these years, it was an answer to my prayers. This is way back. This is like a month after I started this Twitter account. I said, we can be mad at the roster and the management at the same time. Also, can we kidnap Counsell in the middle of the night and make him our manager? I know it's heresy, but I think it'll work.
Way back in 2019.
Wow.
2019.
Called your shot.
Please.
Yeah.
See, I always felt that was the one thing we related to on this podcast was just the respect for Craig Counsell. Like even Crawley, he was like, he's the best manager in baseball. And me and Crawley butt heads all the time, but he said that he might've been the happiest dude in the world when this happened because he knew it. And the great part about Counsell, it's like, you go to therapy and, you go through a breakup and you have a real piece of shit person that you're dating, but you make it work for a long enough time and they call it reparenting. It's like Craig Counsell kind of like got reparented and got to figure it out with the Brewers. So when you go like, what can Craig Counsell do with this team? Well, he can do it a million different ways because the Brewers had a different team every year. If you have those power bats and no speed, he's going to figure it out. If you're a great defensive team with no power, he knows how to coach those teams. And that's the great part is like, he'll find a way with the team you have to win. And that's what makes Craig Counsell great. And the Brewers gave him that opportunity.
Well, I wonder if he just won't be good in Chicago. Like he is a Brewer. He is a Brewer through and through. I don't think
what hurts
you can
the
just
most?
take a human being and move them from one place to another and have it go fine. You think it's going to go great?
Have to move.
It's going
really
to go great.
cute.
It's going to go great. And that's what hurts the most is I know it will because Craig Counsell is great. He's a former player. He creates a great locker room. He develops talent. He gets the analytics. He works well with the GM and everybody.
He hates bunting.
He hates bunting. But the
Hold
Brewers,
on. He
Brewers
hates
bunted
Prince
more than I've
Fielder.
ever seen.
He
in my
hates
life.
Prince Fielder
Yes.
bunting, and I think we can all agree with that.
Well, Bruce Bochy is the best manager in baseball,
Yeah.
but he's getting old. So let's talk about the young rising talent, not a guy that's going to be dead in 10
Okay.
years.
Out
Let's
of left field here. Out of left field here. What about Gabe Kapler?
fucking hate the guy. What do you want?
Yeah.
He's too hot for Milwaukee.
Well,
Yeah.
kind of
Too much-
going
not
along
enough
with
body
what
fat.
here's another one of my TFCs going along with what Wheelo was just saying. An open letter to Craig Counsell. We all loved you, Craig. Every single one of us fought for you. We told the entire league you deserved manager of the year for years. We stood by you when you put Winker in the pinch hitting spot.
Yeah.
We cheered for you when you got your 700th win in Milwaukee. We were all cheering for you to come back. We gave you the biggest contract any MLB coach would have ever received, and you chose to go to our rival for more. Fuck you and your whack ass batting stance, Craig. I hope we fucking destroy the Cubs. And I love that because I think people forget how whack his fucking batting stance was. You remember that shit?
He'd be like this. He looked like he was like chained up in like a dungeon on a dungeon wall. You know?
Yeah. And then that back out slow and he came to the Brewers and he was right here.
Yeah. Oh, that thing above his head was insanity.
Can
I got it right here.
You've got his stance.
I do. Wrong one. Sorry. Streamer's being weird.
Oh
There
my
it is.
God.
Like,
That's
what the fuck
delightful.
is
He
he
looks like the
thinking?
fucking Statue of Liberty.
He looks like Cody Bellinger got struck by lightning.
You know, and that's the other thing. It's like, you know, we don't have Cody Bellinger on the Cubs. We have Craig Counsell, but
No,
you
that's
know,
why
Craig,
we need Joey Votto. I mean,
Well, I
we
don't
need
know
a
if
Joey
Joey-
Votto that can hit.
but
But-
200 hitters can move our needle. I think
know.
that might set us back. You know?
We've had
Craig
plenty of
helps
200
getting-
hitters.
Cody
We need
back.
comeback player of the year, Joey Votto.
Well, and that is the question: is like, will the Cubs even? Does this portend more spending? Does this mean
Yes.
that now the pocketbooks are open?
It does.
No,
Craig is-
no, it does not.
It does.
I
You-
know.
you
I've
say it
been-
doesn't mean it.
No,
you
I
say
think
it
I
does.
think Cotton and I are on the same page with this. The Cubs will spend money on anything that isn't a baseball player.
Do you think Craig's
Look.
coming there for the farm system?
Yeah.
No, I think he's coming there for $3 million more than your team wanted to give him
But
Yeah,
Craig,
per
I
year
loved-
for the
I
next
love
5
the
years.
article. The article, which was why, like, you wouldn't believe all the shenanigans that went on that brought Craig Counsell to the Cubs.
They just took a stack of money and they went.
Yeah, no, that article was
dangled
only
it like a set of keys in front of a dog.
that article was only 3 words long. $40 million.
okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
So talk me off the ledge here because I'm going back and forth in my head and it makes me question everything because this is a breakup. This is what it is.
Right.
I was rolling around in bed and I'm like, so what is Craig? Because I've been on this podcast, the farm system good, the kids are performing, like there is a future there. And I'm like, what does he know about them that I don't? Does he not believe in these great young players that got the opportunity this year and perform? Like, does he not think they're good enough? And I'm like, maybe that's the case. Maybe he doesn't think we have another rebuild in us. And I'm like, but is it just the money? Is that why he left?
Well,
Or
and
does
I'm-
he
and
not
I'm-
believe
Craig
in the
Counsell's
Brewers?
Craig Counsell's got what, 4 kids,
Yeah.
and his contract was up, and he has lived in Wisconsin for
He
his
wanted to stay
entire
close to
life.
home. He wanted to stay close to home.
Close to home, shitloads of money, the opportunity to play in a ballpark that he already knows inside out and backwards.
Yeah.
It's a very logical decision, even if you take baseball entirely out of the equation.
But
Like
why-
if you were just going for a job as a manager at a grocery store, like it would be a very reasonable decision. It's more money, it's close to home, it's a good commute, and I can be good there.
Yeah,
Can I
he
make
can
a-
actually go home on his days off without actually moving into Chicago if he doesn't
Yeah.
want to.
I'm just gonna make a prediction. With this splash, this is just the start for this Cubs franchise in terms of the money they're gonna spend on it. That's just my belief.
Okay, so here's
You know what? Your lips to God's ears.
Mark my
heard
words. What's
that.
the date? What's the
So
date?
Yamamoto, Otani.
Billy has something to
We
say.
trade
No.
for Soto. We're just loading up. Is
I
that
said
your
this-
prediction?
I said this yesterday on my podcast. I was like, this is just the beginning.
Yes.
You can't go and make this move and say this isn't a win now situation. Not as the window isn't cracked anymore. It's slammed open. And
Yes.
you're breaking the top window.
Cub fans, look at us. The three of us are so skeptical.
I
We're
know.
like,
Why?
"Eh,
What is
Yeah.
it in here?
Look,
And he's
they
Why?
took the team I loved more than anything in the world and ripped it apart in front of my eyes.
Because
they took
we
out
have
my
been
beating heart
living.
and stuck it in a blender.
But it turned out to be the right choice.
Yeah.
None of those players have performed
I
anywhere
don't know
else.
if
that
it
is
would have
not
turned out
true.
the
It's-
same way if they were still at Wrigley
Name
Field.
one.
Bobby
Name the
Lyons
player.
only plays
Which
well
one?
when he's happy.
Which
he hasn't
one?
been happy since he left.
No,
Agreed.
Which one did you want to keep besides Joey Votto?
Anthony
No,
Rizzo.
The only one that's
Anthony Rizzo was great with
Rizzo.
the Yankees.
That's what I meant. That's all I meant. Rizzo.
Until he
Yes.
got a fucking head injury, and he played for 2 months anyway.
But the other
Javi
ones
Baez
were the right
plays
choice.
in a
They were the
fucking-
right choice.
You Darvish
Can
and
you?
Kyle Schwarber.
He
They were
plays in
smarter
like
than the fan base. You went with your heart and they went with their heads and they knew what they had and they're not performing. And this is a rebuilt Cubs team that's figuring it out with a great manager.
I was
and
all
they
about
saved their money
Chris
to make the
Bryant can
splash
go.
now.
I wanted to keep you Darvish and Kyle Schwarber, and we still don't have a true ace pitcher or a left-handed power.
And
bat.
those guys are doing great.
And this is my fear too from Little Yumper, knowing the Cubs to save money, they paid Craig a little more so he can get more out of less. So
Okay, and
we are broken. That's our point. We are broken.
I have actually
We are
said
so
You're not.
broken.
You're not.
No,
you
I
guys,
have said
you have Stockholm syndrome.
This is not gonna get
I have
paid
said
on
on
time.
this I have said on this podcast before, the problem with the luxury tax is what it is called. It's called a tax. And anytime a rich person hears the word tax, they don't want to go anywhere near it. They're trying not to pay a tax no matter what it is. They don't give a shit what it is. If they would just, instead of calling it luxury tax, they called it Winners Club, like Winners Club membership,
I like
And they
that.
got
they
a
would
cup.
fucking buy that in a second. But guess what? Winners Club membership is called buying a good manager. You can go out and do that. It doesn't count against your team's salary, so it doesn't count against the luxury tax. And you can tell everyone, we have the best manager in our division.
well, speaking of money to spend, we got 21 more million because Derek Stroh saying goodbye.
Oh,
Yep.
good. That's like half of an Otani almost.
Yeah,
For White
You
season.
don't need
one
Otani.
So, Michael, you're saying they're not going to go over the tax. They might not even have to, unless they might sit
I'm
right at it.
I'm not saying they won't go over the tax. I'm just saying pump the brakes here a little bit because everybody thinks that getting counsel means that they've just opened up
They
the
have
books and
money,
buying
though.
everybody.
I think they'll
You
buy a
have
lot.
money.
And
You guys are like,
spend it on me because I deserve it.
It's the second most expensive ticket in baseball. They have it.
Maybe most.
they have the money.
They
Yeah, they have the money.
Right.
And-
There's a difference
and
between
if they had
having
had
money and
counsel-
being willing to spend it.
If they had
They
counsel
just did. Who
this
did you sign in
year,
the offseason? The best shortstop in baseball. This is a slow build to the restructure of the Cubs franchise and the team they want. They're rebuilding the stadium.
if
Look
they
at what
had
the
had
Rangers
counsel
did.
this year, they
Fair
would
to
have won the
fair.
division.
Look
To
at what
be
the Rangers
fair-
just did. They brought in
To
they
be
brought in
fair-
the best manager in baseball. They spent money the year before, which is exactly what the Cubs did. And then they're
Yes.
going to go out and they're going to spend money because
More
they
money.
see the formula.
Hey,
Well,
look,
you know what?
I hope
I
you're
would
right.
like it if
Nothing
that happened. I'm
that
just
this-
saying I'm not holding my breath because
Why
I
is
didn't do
why
that
is
for
all
very
your
long.
rivals
Very
arguing with you why
Yeah.
the Cubs are going to be great? I love this. I never
Because
thought
you
I'd be
guys
defending
don't
the Cubs.
know our team.
And
You don't know
that we
what our
have
fucking
been-
ownership does. They don't. They are frightened of the luxury tax. The only
Or-
time everybody says,
or-
"Oh, they had
or-
all this money. They had the second highest payroll." That was
or-
because the guys who were young actually got good and started moving up the ladder, and they took them above that luxury tax. It's not because they went out and signed everybody like the Padres did or the Mets did. They went over that luxury tax because they had good young players who then started getting more and more in arbitration. And when that happened, that's what did it. They didn't go out and make big splashes once those guys started making more money. They made their big splashes prior to the World Series. And then that 2016 Chapman was it. That was the big splash. Well, and I guess Zobrist, they paid Zobrist a lot of money, $16 million, but that was it. And then they stopped doing it.
Yeah, then we got Daniel Descalso for the next 7 years,
Because they won. They reached the top of the mountain.
Exactly.
And then they're like,
So
okay,
here's
let's
the
see what we
thing.
can do here. We know it's coming in the future. So why sign anyone to any more than like a 3-year deal? And then they broke up the core and then they rebuild. I mean, that's the Reds just did that
This
in
was a
2022.
rebuild. You're coming out
But the
of a
Reds-
rebuild.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah, they just
for
didn't
years
publicly
But you
and
guys
years,
always say
I
you
know-
don't
have
have any
money.
fucking money.
you
We have all the goddamn money in the world, and they're playing the game like they are the Brewers. So
Because-
much so they went out and fucking got Craig Counsell.
And now they're gonna spend money because he went to the Cubs because they're like, hey, just a little secret, we're gonna fucking spend so much goddamn money. And he's like,
Yes.
yeah, I'll fucking be
It's like,
here.
I'm in. I'll take
He
a
feels
deal with
fine.
you.
No, they said, here's a little secret. You don't have to move, and we'll give you $8 million every year. And you
Not
see
part
all
of-
these young guys,
Not part of the payroll.
David Ross wouldn't let them play. If you'll let them play, you're our guy.
I think they spend. I do. I think they spend sensibly. I don't think they're gonna like throw all the money in Lake
Would you
Michigan
say
at it.
I don't think he
Intelligent
I
spending?
would say they're
Daddy?
gonna do intelligent spending. I think
What
if
did
they
I
can,
say?
I think if they could get Bellinger back, they get specifically. I think if they can get Bellinger back, they get Bellinger back. They lost Stroh, so I think you're definitely in on one of the big pitchers. No
You're getting
doubt about it. You're
Montgomery.
in on.
I said this last
Montgomery,
time.
Jordan
Yes,
Montgomery.
yes,
You get
yes.
Yamamoto from Japan, maybe. You do something
Woodley
like
Sound.
that. You Darvish, you get him back because the
Cleveland-
Padres aren't doing shit, or they
That's
need to
the
reset.
absolute hope. I hope
So-
that is the case. I
For
just
years and years and years, I was like, you know what? I don't care if the Cubs are ever good. I just love them so much.
yeah.
I just love
look,
my Cubbies. I love them. I love the Cubs. It doesn't matter. They're the lovable losers. I love them because of the culture. Da 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 da. And then you know what? They rip my heart out. So
Yeah.
now I'm gonna call them cheap ass losers. And as long as I have been doing that, they have decided to go out and they bought me Seiya Suzuki and they bought they bought me a Dansby Swanson and now
Sure
they
did.
bought me Craig Counsell, the manager
Sure
of my
did.
heart.
We
And you know
built the
what? They're
stadium.
cheap ass losers, and they do not have the guts to buy Shohei Ohtani.
This
That's
is
what I'm gonna say.
and this is huge
Cheap
to
ass
add
loser.
to add on to those wonderful moves that the lovable losers have been making for us. Joe Kilgallen brings up in the chat here. I just realized the Cubs are trying to win a World Series, and Trump is running for president. What happened last time? Oh, God.
Heyo. So
my
Joe's on
God.
our
Oh
side.
my god!
So Joe's on our
Rick
side.
only wants the Cubs to win the World Series if it means he gets to go to the White House.
I was a big Doug Burgum fan, so I don't know what's happening with his candidacy. Ever since Pence has dropped out, I don't know what to do.
Oh, man.
ever since Pence and his fly quit running together.
Exactly. His
I-
running mate, the fly.
Bellinger comes back. You make a splash in the bullpen,
Mhm.
right? You
Yeah.
get a Josh Hader, right? Those are the big splashes. You get
I
a
would
Jordan
love a Josh
Montgomery.
Hader.
You get a
I'll
you get a
buy Hader,
Montgomery.
baby.
Now you have a team, right? Now you have a
Instantly.
team.
Yeah.
You have a team.
We got 3 Gold Glovers. You got Seiya coming into it. You got the Bellinger's thing, and I think you need one more lefty bat at that point. And
Totally still need a lefty bat.
Do you think they pitched Craig Counsell on the same concept he just left the Brewers for?
You know
Absolutely
who's a
not.
great
They
lefty
said we're
bat?
going to
Shohei
spend
Ohtani.
money. We're going to put everything around you that the Brewers didn't get you. He's not leaving Milwaukee, destroying his relationship with that community unless they made a commitment to spend money and put the players around him. What we're going to give you everything the Brewers never gave. That was the pitch, and everything for the last 4 years has been building to this. You've slowly built towards it.
We
Craig
will.
Counsell's a splash, and now you're going to unload, and that's what's going to happen.
And then
IFG really likes you, so you should go to the Cubs.
And then look at what Joe just said. Yeah, so what if you lose Bellinger? What's even more interesting is the rumors that you're in on Pete Alonso and that
Yeah.
you just burn it to the ground. Because guess what? Farm systems aren't supposed to stay good forever.
Nope.
You're supposed to liquidate, win a chip, move on.
Right. But here's the other
Are
thing.
the capital you use
you
to
keep-
buy championships.
You keep
Exactly.
talking about how they told Craig Counsell, oh, we're going to spend money. We're going to buy all this stuff. Let me tell you something that the Cubs once told us. You're just going to back the truck up with money, right? Or was it wheelbarrows full of
Wheelbarrows
cash?
full of cash.
Wheelbarrows full of cash. We've heard this shit before. And the wheelbarrows full of cash,
To the
Well,
core,
Yeah.
they didn't show up.
Well, guess what?
and
It
guess what?
actually worked out that they
It
didn't.
did because they all fucking suck.
Bingo.
Thank you, Billy.
That's what the Reds did in 2022. As soon
No,
as the
they
lockout
said
ended-
wheelbarrows full of cash back
For
in
what,
fucking
shit players?
2015. You're forgetting 17, 18, 19, 20. And you're talking about 21? We're talking about practice?
So wait,
Come
so
on
you,
now.
So you win it.
Oh,
No.
Billy just got muted somehow.
Billy, you muted.
We lost you,
You
Billy.
muted yourself.
Can't-
Can't hear you, babe.
I don't know what happened there.
Plug.
Well,
plug
you
your
know what?
microphone back in.
Let's let Billy figure that out. Look, we're going to take a quick break as it is. We're far overdue, so we're
I
going to take
fucking
it.
hate when people come. And Wheelo, I think this is the second fucking time you've done this. Is you come on this show and you start saying shit, and all of a sudden I'm arguing against my fucking team.
Well, we'll let you cool down for a moment.
damn
We're
it.
taking a break. We're taking a break.
Do you
Throw
ever
money.
find yourself longing for long walks and talks about Ketrometrics? How about a coffee over run differential? Maybe a candlelit dinner dissecting what exactly is the curious case of Miles Mastrobuoni? If you have, I have just the place for you, the Cubs PS Plus podcast. Come join us. Cubs PS Plus, a Northside numbers game, can be found wherever it is you get your podcasts, and on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all at Cubs PS Plus, a spin on the baseball metric OPS Plus. Are you ready? I'm ready. Here we go.
If you like the Cubs a bunch, buy your t-shirts from In the Clutch. We've got all the best styles for you. Dansby, Saya, Morel too. Clark Fly in his double U. Cody Bellinger smoking dupes. Vintage shirts from days of old. Patrick Wisdom and Nico. You'll look sharp wearing your stro. 10% off with the code SONRANTO. SONRANTO. InTheClutch.com is your store for the most fun baseball shirts on the planet. Don't forget to use promo code SUNRANTO to knock a couple bucks off your purchase. Stack or die, we need more cups. Get it all at In The Clutch. Cause if you like the Cubs a bunch, buy t-shirts from In The Clutch. Get it all at In The Clutch. Get it all at In The Clutch. Hey Cubs fans, at Amazon.com do you buy lots of stuff? Why not support the Sun Ranto Show by shopping through sunranto.com/stuff? All you gotta do is fill your cart at Amazon with lots of stuff. Then before you check out with all of that wonderful stuff, head on over to sunranto.com/stuff and click any of our Amazon links before you buy your stuff. Check out like you normally would with all that beautiful stuff. And the Sun Ranto Show will get a small kickback because of the stuff you bought. And you'll be helping the Sun Ranto Show buy all the stuff we need to stay on the air talking about the Cubs and other stuff. Plus you could win a monthly prize if some of your is chosen for Amazon stuff of the month. And if you win, we'll send you more stuff. Sunranto.com/stuff. That address again is sunranto.com/stuff.
Okay, we are back. Hashtag chance in the chat if you would like to win a Frank Chance postcard sent to you by me with a message of love and doom. And it is time to give away the sunranto.com/stuff Amazon prize of the month. It is the first show.
I love that little bottle dude.
You can win this cute little bobblehead guy. All you have to do is be the matching item purchased at sunranto.com/stuff, which is an Amazon just Amazon links at sunranto.com/stuff. And there were 63 items purchased in this last month, in the month of October. So each number corresponds to an item that was purchased. And let's give the wheel a spin.
Feel a spin.
Well, it won't do it though. Wait.
Spin wheel.
Spin wheel.
Go.
This is the worst spin ever.
Oh,
Go faster.
You're
I don't
like
think he's doing it.
you're
Oh, there
like
he goes.
the elderly lady on Price is Right that can't actually spin the wheel.
Yeah, get it. Okay, you got to get all the way around there, Mildred. Okay, we're gonna try this again.
No whammies.
All right, I think I'm just frozen somehow. Let me refresh my page here and see if that helps us at all. God, this is going great.
Well, what are the things? What
How
are
about
some
this?
of the things
Screw
that
this.
they?
Yeah, screw this. We're not doing it this way. Eric, because you just lost your manager, why don't you pick a number between 1 and 63?
Oh. 84. That's it. Just kidding.
This is why you lost your manager. The school system.
I'm gonna go with 4 because that's the last turncoat Brett Favre's number. So there we go.
Number 4. So that would be the winner would be whoever bought the Fairlife Nutrition Plan high protein chocolate something or other. So whoever purchased that and was shopping probably in early October,
Probably granola bars or something.
you have won this. So just contact me, sunranto@gmail.com, on Twitter @sunranto. And there's all sorts of fabulous things.
Yeah, I
Dinner
was like,
plates.
somebody's really into their air quality. We got a HEPA filter. We got an air purifier.
And then they got protein. Just another disappointment.
Somebody bought an iPhone 14. They can buy their own little water bottle.
Gojo 5 p.m. figure. I don't know what that is.
That's
What's that?
what are you doing at 5 p.m. with a figure?
I mean, I know what a 5 o'clock shadow looks like. I'm just wondering what the 5 o'clock figure looks like.
So, if you did buy those protein bars of chocolate or whatever they are,
Artie says he has to know what number 30 is.
so you have won this, and so let me know that you have won. Billy DeVore in our little private chat here says Ohio just made weed legal. So congratulations to that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yay,
Wow.
I can finally
Coming from
smoke
the
without being
Pacific
paranoid.
Northwest, I can tell you, people who drive for a living are about to make a lot more money.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Well, now, how long until Kentucky does it? you think?
Forever, because that's their number one cash crop, baby.
Yeah.
Tobacco?
No, it's illegal weed.
Illegal weed, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And nobody's going to go over to Newport for their dispensary stuff.
No, we just go to the brass ass over there, baby.
Now here's because last time wasn't it because one of the guys in like the Lachey's or the Lachey's or whatever, the Nick Lachey, they wanted to get it legalized just so that they could sell it.
Yeah, so it was like for medicinal purposes, and there would only be 5 growers for the whole state. And Nick Lachey was one of them, and then the Big O, Oscar Robertson. It's like, what does Nick Lachey know about being a fucking cool guy? Nothing.
Oscar Robertson.
Don't
on
sleep
the other
on
hand,
98
knows.
degrees. All right. I'll get a party going.
I'm not gonna lie, Billy DeVore. I saw your cat walk by in the back, and I started looking around and go, "How did my cat get in your room?"
So when you guys were all like screaming at each other, I was just holding my cat, petting it like a Bond villain.
So
Xander, who shows up on this show.
I put out a Twitter poll because not only did Stroh leave the Cubs, but Tim Anderson was kicked off the White Sox, and
So
I caught a lot of flack on my Twitter when I was like, Cubs should get Tim Anderson. Everybody's like, no, not with a 20-foot pole. We don't want Tim Anderson. But I put out a poll wondering who the Cubs third baseman in 2024 should be, and Tim Anderson got more votes at 15% than Patrick Wisdom. By the way, this is 2,069 votes.
Nice.
So I figured that'd be a good time to stop the counting. But Christopher Morel got the most votes, 51%. Tim Anderson beat Patrick Wisdom 15% to 7%. And then Nick Madrigal was only at 27%. And
A literal majority of Cubs fans think Christopher Morel should get a fair hack at third base.
Well, you don't even have who's going to be your starting third baseman on there next year. Matt Chapman.
Well, I mean, that is a possibility, but
You know what?
If was a good time.
Billy, can I give you a fist bump? There you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
They do not. It does drive me insane whenever I hear people talk about the fact that the Cubs need a third baseman because Christopher Morel is on this team and everyone has just absolutely drank the Kool-Aid on this kid just because they wouldn't let him play third. Everybody thinks that like, oh, well, he must not be able to play third. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he's not
No,
great
we
at
just
it, but he could
fired
be
the guy
better.
who refused to play him at third base.
I put up,
I'm just
and
saying.
this is from
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
I'm with you.
This list has grown.
Also, Justin Turner is 400 years old and should not be.
Yeah, Justin Turner. Yeah, but you got to get somebody. Justin Turner's a righty too, you know. So and Javi has an opt out. So I mean that'd be
No,
kinda fun.
Javi, he opted in.
Oh, he
He
did.
did.
Okay.
He opted in. He's
Why would he not?
taking money and running. I thought it was a really smart idea for him.
Fucking dog shit. I mean, come
Well,
on.
yeah, take the guaranteed money. He can keep swinging at literally every goddamn pitch that crosses anywhere close to a plate in any state.
Yeah.
And you guys wanted him. You were heartbroken when he
I
left.
love
I
Javi
still
immensely.
fucking want him.
I
What?
wanted to watch Javi Baez hit his last home run on the day he retired. One last basket shot before he called it a
Who
day.
am I?
The second he
What am I?
left, I knew he was going to fall off the table.
You said you just did a whole thing about loyalty and
Me?
right then and $40 million and money, and it's you go where the money is. And
Well, he did.
Totally go where the money is.
Wait, who did? Who said
But
these things?
What are you talking about?
infield fly, just the whole
Me?
thing. You wanted him to end his career here, and he's not doing the job, or was it you, or was it?
What?
No,
No,
yeah,
I
she-
said
but she wants him to end his
me in my
career,
heart
yeah.
before Blue Friday, like when the Cubs tore everything down. Up to that, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they got rid of Javi. I wanted to see Javi stay here forever. But yeah, like I knew the second he left, he was going to fall off the table and be terrible because he can only play when he's happy.
So
Well,
And high.
he's
High
not.
as
Yeah.
fuck.
You're
That's
saying
I
he's
mean,
not-
probably.
He's
but
not being the player he's always been, or it's because he's not happy in Detroit. That's the
I
issue.
I just don't see the same Javi in Detroit that I saw here at Wrigley. I don't have words. I don't have like math for it. It's just a feels thing.
I agree. He
Um,
would have been better as a Cub.
I think he would
Well,
be
anything
better
would have been
if the
better than
Cubs
what
had
he's
said,
doing.
"We believe in you. You should stay here."
look, do you remember when Nick Castellanos played for the Detroit Tigers
No.
and he
I'm
did
like-
not hit homers?
Yeah,
He didn't hit homers.
he was
he just
doubles
didn't do that.
machine.
And then he came to the Cubs, started hitting homers. And then he went to the Reds, kept hitting homers. And now he's with the Phillies. He's still hitting homers. Why do you
Besides
think
in the-
that is?
Happy
Besides in the
and people
playoffs,
believe in
then he
him.
fucking choked. But
Yeah.
Well, to
In
be
any
fair, he hit
NLCS
like
situation.
5 and then he choked for the rest of the time.
yeah,
No, like Detroit is a big ballpark.
Yeah.
And it does not play to Javi's strengths as a hitter.
They moved the fences
at
in
some
last
point,
year.
Javi just gave up and he stopped even like trying to pick his pitches. Like he's just swinging at literally fucking everything.
And the Tigers, I don't know where they're at. They just Zach Short went to the Mets. Did I see that? Is that where he went? Not that he's like a big name or anything, but he was on the Cubs. That's why he's on Ian Happ's podcast.
Well, Eduardo opted out.
yeah, and he didn't want it, and he opted out of going to the Dodgers this year because he was happy in Detroit
Okay.
because he was traded,
Have-
right?
have
And then he
you, like-
denied that trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mets claimed Zach Short. That's is true, and he's
Can I say
actually
one thing?
from New York.
I am still mad to this day that we had Eric Stout like right after we got rid of Zach Short. We had the perfect opportunity. We could have had Short and Stout. And I will be bitter about that forever.
But we need Zach Ross to pour the teacup. Shaw shortstop.
Can you
So-
bring up? Oh, go ahead.
There are a bunch. I just want to kind of go through this list. Not all of them are important, but we talked about Stroman electing free agency, and then there were a lot of procedural moves and stuff like that. But one of the things that it was in here is that the St. Louis Cardinals claimed Jared Young off of waivers. So we lost him. So I just want to check in with Michael Cotton how you're doing as Jared Young's biggest cup. You're probably Jared Young's biggest fan. I don't think I'm going out on a limb, or really, I don't think that's hyperbolic in the least to say that you might believe in Jared Young more than just about anybody on the planet. So is this going to come back to bite us in the ass next year when he's a St. Louis Cardinal and hitting walk-off homers against us?
You know what? With the Cardinals, it probably will. It'll probably be something that goes insanely bad for us. But, I mean, they've still got Goldschlager over there, so he's not going to play first, right? So are they going to put him at second base? Like, what are they going to do with him?
I don't know. He might be in the minors. I don't know. The last bit of kind of hilarious news I wanted to bring up is that I got it.
By the way, Danny, I can't really argue that I might be Jared Young's biggest fan, only because I don't think there are any.
That's what you are.
You're it.
I'm the only one in the world that had a nice positive thing to say about him back in the day.
Yeah,
Jared Young is more PJ Higgins. I get it.
Also, I love seeing Boxberger elect free agency. I told you guys before you signed him, I'm like, we took that guy's arm, we pitched it to the bone. Good luck.
yeah. Trust we found that out real quick.
I told you
the hamburger in the box.
But I am on the season ticket wait list for the Cubs. But one of the perks of being on the season ticket wait list is being able to buy season tickets somehow.
Oh, good. At least they're giving you that.
Yeah, and then there's also half-season plans and weekend plans and all this stuff, and a red plan and a blue plan, and I'm like, I think they are saying that there is no wait list at this point is kind of what the news I'm giving everybody.
Yeah, and
like the phone call I get every year from the Mariners. They're like, "Hey, we noticed that you buy tickets sometimes. Would you like a flex plan?" And I'm like, "Nah, getting a ticket for $7 off a like Vivid seats on on the train on the way down is pretty good for me. Thanks."
Yep, I was gonna say that that thing Danny just put up there said like the lowest possible price or lowest available
possible price available.
Yeah, lowest possible price available.
From
That's
them.
because there are no other places that you can buy a ticket right now.
Yeah.
But if there was, you could get it cheaper than what the Cubs are offering.
Could be. And you know what? This council signing kind of made me feel like, oh, jump in, get myself a single bleacher ticket. Does it come with the playoffs? Does it come with the World Series? Like, do I buy into Eric's vision here of the Cubs riding to glory in 24?
There's more to the vision. There's more to the vision. It's not next year, but it's happening in the next 3.
Yeah.
What's not happening next year?
The World Series for the Cubs.
World Series, yeah.
No.
The division, I really see the Cubs probably winning the division next year.
No.
What?
No. Billy.
Who? What?
We're in a no. Hold on a second here. Here's the thing. There's a plan in place with the Cubs. And I want you to clip this off when you guys are all celebrating and said you fucking called this shit. All right?
Get it in like 3 minutes so we can put it on TikTok.
Okay. I'll do it in 30 seconds. Next year, Cubs, you're gonna be right there. You're gonna make the playoffs next year. You're gonna add some shit this year. Year after that, you're gonna go a little further. I'm gonna say 3-year plan. Cubs probably playing in the World Series.
I'm saying we go next year.
Do we win?
I'm just saying we win the division
3 years
next
from now.
year.
We're in the World Series. Do we win?
No, because fuck the Cubs. But
that's my boy.
I'm coming in hot. Early prediction here from me. Cubs win the World Series in 2024. There, I'm saying it. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to be the first one out there. I'm going to clip it out November 7th, 9:45 p.m. in 30 seconds. Exactly.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say the Cubs will win the Central Division next year. But unfortunately, they just picked up counsel, so they'll go out after the first round.
Hey, you're learning quick. Never call you.
All right. While we're all jumping out on limbs here, I'm gonna reach as far as I can out onto that nice little oak branch and say the Cubs are gonna sign Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I said that yesterday. I was like, you guys but they were in the finals.
You don't need
on
it.
the first go
Look,
around.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right,
You're
I
right.
get to brag about it forever.
There's
Yeah,
a good
I mean-
chance they'll do it.
That's how all of sports media works anymore. I'm just
Billy
going to
Goat.
say outlandish shit. And if I'm right, I'm going to never let you forget it.
Look,
And if I'm
whenever
wrong, I've
anything
said
is
so
like-
much outlandish shit, nobody takes me seriously.
I have like 200,000 tweets in the last 5 years of this account. Every time something interesting happens, I do a search to see if I predicted it.
Apparently,
You're
Jed
the
is
Simpsons of Twitter.
Jed is
Of
on
Cubs Twitter.
Jed is on marquee right now. So if he says anything interesting, let us know in the chat because
At
we're certainly not watching.
10:46,
Not
like
watching it.
9:46. Okay.
So
I guess so. I don't know. I must have nothing better to do.
So what y'all
He's
need
reiterating the timeline was November 1st. It was not before that.
100%.
Midnight on November for 12:01. Actually, it was 12:03 on November 1st.
there's no Snapchats buried into the cloud.
No.
You think Jed
So-
knows how to use
Craig
Snapchat?
Council and Jed Hoyer Snapchatting each other.
Yeah. So I like Wheelo's 3-year window, but there's also the Reds are going to be lurking. They're gonna
Are
they're
they?
You've been positive. You've bought in some stock for the Reds.
I've bought in, I'm in, and wait till you see the moves they make this offseason. They're gonna go and sign a big starting pitcher. They're gonna go and sign 2 relievers, which is what would have got them into the postseason last year.
Yeah.
So, and continuing with guys who are young and they're going to be around that are going to continue to just get better. So, I mean, y'all can, this is our window together. The Cubs decided to open theirs. The Reds planned theirs.
Yes.
I see a lot of spirited podcasts in our future, Billy.
I'm
And
very
you-
excited.
And you've proven you'll spend some money.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the window from 10 to 14, they were top 10 in payroll.
Yes.
And there's something that everyone has been sleeping on. Our manager, Mr. Bell, 3 of the 5 years he's managed, he has a winning record.
Oh, and the other 2 years, I mean, who else you gonna watch?
2019 they forced a rebuild, and then guess what? They were like, "Who else are you gonna watch? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?" Guess what it did? They got rid of everybody at the exact right time and rebuilt, and then they turned it around in less than a year.
Quick, yeah, they turned it around way quicker than the Cubs did. That was like trying to turn around the Titanic.
Yeah. So the 12 times we play each other next year are going to be real fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
well, I mean,
Can I
Yeah,
give
go
a
ahead,
Brewers
Eric.
projection?
yeah, I would like to hear it.
As the mighty, they will fall. Burns will be traded, if not before the season at the trade deadline. I think Adames, we get rid of him. He's going to go. And we slowly begin our crawl back. But I just don't see us being a competitive team this year. We're not winning the division.
You think you're going to be as bad as the Cardinals, or do you think that?
No,
I
fuck
wonder
the
what we
Cardinals.
haven't even talked about the Cardinals.
You know, the weird thing about the Cardinals is
They're lurking.
they're lurking. They're
No,
always
we did talk about them. They got Jared Young.
He's going to ruin all of our lives next year, Jared Young.
He's gonna come out and be like some sort of insanely amazing utility player. He's gonna play all
bat
9
800.
positions at different points.
Yeah, Eric, I said that yesterday too, man. I was like, as soon as Council left, I'm like, it's almost like he knew too. Like they're gonna move Burns and Woodruff's out for the year.
Yes,
So
Woodruff
what
out.
do you lost 2 of the 3-headed horsemen?
So now we have Peralta and who? Colin Ray, like
Hauser?
Aaron Ashby, Hauser.
That's
It's just like what got us through no longer exists. That bullpen's still going to be there. You know, that young talent's still going to be there. But if you don't have starting pitching, it's just impossible to win. And we don't have it. And Wade Miley opting out, that's an issue. Like the Brewers, we've hit our rebuild. Like this is going to be it.
Yep.
But there's enough young talent there that I think we can get back. And depending on who we sign as a manager, that's going to have a lot to say about it. But
Well,
Who's
the
that-
Pirates are
Does
up
Will
and coming too.
Venable still want to be a manager?
I don't know.
Will Venable?
Yeah,
but I've
remember-
told you, But I've told
He's
you
been,
since
he's been messing with the Diamondbacks. They went to the World Series and whatnot.
Well, here's
He's
the one
assistant
thing
manager over there.
we can all keep, just in our hip pocket for any of these seasons. Baseball lets everyone in the fucking end of season tournament. Like it's like you
true.
don't actually have to have a good team anymore. You just have to be good enough.
Halfway good.
Yeah, did you see the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, 84 wins made it. Well, I think we can all agree on Robert Sanchez's quote here. Fuck the Cardinals. We can all
Amen.
agree. And that so I do have a couple of announcements. We'll get to our TFCs if we have any left. I believe we've used them all. December 16th is Cubs caroling. Start thinking of your Cubs carols because as soon as Thanksgiving is over, we're getting into Cubs carols and we'll do that up until the show right before Christmas. And
Danny, on your show last night with Sarah, you guys were starting to come up with some already with Craig Council themes.
What's the date again? I'm putting it in my calendar right now.
December 16th. Craig Council came to my city. And then, so yeah, December 16th. And that's pretty much my only announcement for right now, I guess. So, I do have hashtag chance in the chat. I do have some leftover TFCs. This is one that left over from last week that I just thought was funny. The guy that designed the pool at Arizona Diamondback Stadium is a man named Buzz Jizz.
Shut up.
Seriously.
Buzz Jizz.
No, his name. So, and I saw this quote and I just had it as a TFC and I forgot to put it up last week, but he says, grateful people are successful people. Buzz Jizz.
Did he buzz a jizz in the top left corner?
I mean, I'm wondering if that is something that just looks like something that you see on like the side label of a product that you would get at the adult toy store.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's not even a modern marvel. It's a shitty pool in a stadium.
Yeah.
The worst stadium in the league, by the way. It smells like mold and mildew.
Okay, but also it has
trash.
a pool in it.
Yeah, so does the
That's the
Jacksonville
only
Jaguars stadium.
Yeah.
And that's where gonorrhea spread. So come on.
Yeah, there
Have
are
you, guys
some
been,
pools.
have you guys been to Diamondback Stadium?
I
Yeah.
have.
No, why would
Yeah.
I be in Arizona?
I have, but not
It
for a
is
game.
the worst food I've ever experienced. It's the worst smelling stadium I've ever been in. It's just dog shit. From
There's
start to
one
finish.
area you can eat at a
Arizona's
buffet.
one of the worst places you can go.
It really is.
Just in
Oh.
general.
Can be.
Did I ever tell the story on the podcast?
I mean, I
It can
grew up
be.
going to Tropicana Fields, so
Oh, I meant Arizona, the entire state, not
Yes.
just the ballpark.
I like it. I like Phoenix. I like that area. I just but the problem is my skin doesn't like it. I come out there just like looking like a wooden man, like just just like I look like a piece of wood.
Yes.
Like it's get all leathery and my skin does not stay supple.
I went to the ticket window to buy it. It was like 114 degrees outside. And I go to the ticket window. The guy sitting there is like, "Oh, Brewers fan." He's like, I was from Chicago. I just couldn't deal with those winters anymore." And I looked him in the eyes. I'm like, "I've been through 3 shirts today. What the fuck are you talking about?"
I would so much rather be cold than hot. There's a reason I went from Tampa to Seattle. Like I was like, I'm getting as far away from this as I can without actually needing a passport.
I knew I didn't like Arizona when I moved there when I was 18. And I walked out into the backyard on the grass barefoot and burned my feet on the grass.
No,
And I was
like
like,
second degree
"Fuck
burns
this
from walking
place."
across the street is to check the mail is so real. Like
You
it's
can
the
melt your
worst.
shoes if you stand in one spot too long.
So #fuck Florida, #fuck Arizona.
And
That's what we got
Hashtag
right
chance.
now. Yeah, #chance.
But Carrie Lake did win the election, though. We can all agree on that, right? So I like this. The Cubs made the announcement. The Cubs Twitter. The Cubs today made the following announcement. Cubs relieve David Ross of managerial duties.
That's kind.
Rafael Valedra Dares says, I'm gonna miss you, Ross. And I just was like, what the fuck, Raphael?
See, my thought when I saw how they worded that, all they did was relieve him of the managerial duties. I mean, he could still be with this team. They need a bullpen catcher. He'd be the highest paid bullpen catcher in the league.
Hey, maybe they'll demote him. No.
I'm saying they didn't say he's fired. They just said he's
Well, he
relieved
liked
of
Ross.
managerial duties.
He's the first. He's the first guy to go, so he's the biggest kiss ass of the manager on the fucking team. Of course, he loved David Ross.
I have a question. What
Does
is
it-
David Ross getting paid to sit on the couch and like watch Dancing with the Stars for next year?
Box of Omaha steaks.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. Is like people
his
feeling bad
contract
for
is
David
good for
Ross.
next year, and there's an option for 2025.
Well, they'll pick that up.
Well, what if it's his option?
I think it might be his option.
It's 2.5.
I'm not 100% sure on that. Hold on, let me see. I had a thing.
Tim
Let's check
DeHay
this
just
out.
wrote in the comments 2.5 mil.
$2.5 million.
Oh,
See,
that's a rounding error. That's fine.
I'll fucking do that. Like, I mean,
It's worth $2.5 million to me to not.
how
oh,
much would you love to get $2.5 million to hate the Cubs? I would do that.
Oh,
I do that.
And I love the Cubs, but for $2.5 million, I'll spend 2 seasons hating them.
you give me $500,000, you'll never see me again.
I
That's
would
enough for
definitely pay
Mexico.
$2.5 million to hate a company that just fired me. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I'm buying an RV and going into the desert.
Yeah.
So, do we have any more TFCs? Do we have anything else? Because
I had a couple, but they're not- Whatever. They're
we got all off season. We should pinch this show off, and
like a loaf.
and we'll go into the Discord, because I bet you a lot of people have a lot to say. And I know there was a shocking week for Cubs fans, and so I would guess that people might want to sound off, and I'd like to spend a little time over there tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully this works better than that number picker wheel did.
I know. Well, I have to say thank you to Billy DeVore. It took a lot for you to come on the show and hang out. And I mean, the character that you have to be able to put away all of your animosity towards the Cubs, come on this show, spend the entire night with us.
Of course, it really took a lot to talk about Joey Votto, but I made it through.
You're a prince among men.
Thank you. You're real. You're a real mensch.
All right, let's draw it. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. You're seeing that?
We are.
Okay, good. Captain Charisma, congratulations.
1988.
I forget who Captain Charisma is, so please contact me. It's harder to get in touch with the YouTube people because it's not like a messagey thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So contact me and be like, "Hey, I won. I am the chance winner. I know you've won before too." So congratulations, Captain Charisma, and congratulations to the Chicago Cubs for stealing the Brewers manager.
And good luck to the
And congratulations to the Cincinnati Reds for coming in second 2024.
wait.
I'm a Reds fan and a Brewers fan now. So
What I've changed.
Oh no, just in personal foreign baseball news, the one other major league that is still operating right now, because the Hanshin Tigers have won NPB. The KT Wiz have won KBO. The Taiwan series is still going on in Taiwan. Yeah, man, the Wiz.
How about those DC Dinos? They made me a lot of money this year. No.
So the KT Wiz have won over the LG Twins, and now I think it was the LG Twins. Anyway, but the CPBL Taiwan series is going on right now. My team, the Rakuten Monkeys, who seem to really like taking inspiration for their alternate uniforms from the 1990s Brewers.
That's absolutely a 1990s.
Well, they're a winner,
Isn't
but they're
it
going
though?
to
I
fade.
love this. So
Those
dumb.
that's what happened. That like when they print off the World Series champions hats. That's what happened to all the
Yeah, they're
playoff
just cut
jerseys
off the
that the
bottom
Brewers
there.
had from the 90s. They sent them to Taiwan.
Yep, they are 2-1 against the Wei Twin Dragons in a 7-game series. So go Monkeys, and
Go Monkeys.
And
go Monkeys.
and don't forget, November 24th, 25th, Dubai All-Stars playing each other in Baseball United.
Hell yeah!
The baseball shall continue. Well, Billy,
Can I say
Eric,
one
yeah,
thing?
please. I wanted you. I wanted you
No.
both to sign off.
Billy,
in
you
your own
have to make a
special way.
shirt for Brewers fans that's fucking Craig Counsell. It has
Fuck
to be
fucking
it
Craig
has,
Counsell.
it has to be in the making. It has to be. We will buy it in droves. All right, that's all I'm going to say.
Cub fans
actually-
may buy that too. I mean, give us a month. We turn coat with the best of them.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what nicknames you guys have for Council in mid-May when you're panicking.
So yeah, we'll let you know.
I'm
Do you-
looking forward
do you
to
guys
the
have,
Craigslist T-shirt that has Shohei Ohtani leading off?
Craigslist.
Ooh.
I'm going with
Do you-
Craig Sellout. That's my number one right there.
Do you guys have things that you want to plug, promote, whatever? Billy, you've talked about your podcast a couple times, but you haven't told anybody the name of that podcast. Maybe people would like to know.
Nah, no one really gives a shit. Yeah, it's called The New Nasty Boys. If you don't know already, I've had some of you guys come over and comment on stuff. It's been great. Working on getting some special guests for the off season, and one of them might have pitched for Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, nice.
And you had Cash Money on your show too.
I did. That was a great interview. There's a lot you can learn from that. It doesn't seem like they're holding anything back, and it's probably the most player friendly ownership and management group, because you have so many Hall of Famers and great players who are buying in and are part of this league. It's gonna be so cool.
Yeah, man, it's like Adrian Beltre, Felix Hernandez, like the ownership
Mariano
group
Rivera.
Yeah, Mariano Rivera. It's fantastic ownership.
Barry
group.
Larkin.
So much fun.
Barry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited for this league. I think I'm a lifelong Falcons fan because I think Mitch Lively got drafted to the Falcons, and Mitch
Fair.
Lively is that guy who has played for so many different teams. I want to get his baseball reference page printed on a t-shirt, but it might actually have to be a maxi dress because it's been so many different teams.
And,
That's
I've
your
seen
5XL jersey you're gonna have.
That's it. It's going to be my Mitch Lively shirt.
Yeah. Well, go Wolves. That's who I'm in on.
So Wheeler, you're on a show too. Can we watch
am.
that anywhere?
Yeah, I'm on up
Are
at.
we allowed?
You're really throwing digs in on.
Yeah.
Is that like
Love you,
I'm-
Eric. Where can
that
we
sounds
watch
like my
it?
mother.
Does your show exist?
Yeah, so what are you on Snapchat or you?
Yeah. What is this?
Does anybody watch this show?
Yeah. So where can I find you?
Where can I find it?
Where is it?
Yeah, I'm on 5 days a week. It's called Up and Adams on FanDuel TV. We have a YouTube live every day. I'm in the chat, kind of like I am here or whatever you guys do in your chat, fucking talking to people.
It's
But
football related though, right?
It's a football show 5 days a week. Kay Adams, who came from Good Morning Football over at the NFL Network. Man, we had Myles Garrett today. We had Reader from the Bengals. We had fucking Debo Samuel. We got Daniel Jones, who just blew his ACL. That was my guess all season. And the Giants have been shit. And so I say reproduce. I'm part of the show. I got a lectern. I'm on the show. I kind of do this. I talk shit and do my thing.
Yeah,
But-
dude, she, number one Bengals stand, dude. She was
she
on
is,
it
Kay Adams.
early.
Yeah, she's on it early. And the Bengals start slow and then they rise. The Bears always suck. And the Packers are dog shit too. So it is gonna be. But big news with HBO Max getting their sports package, which they're adding, and it's going to be free till January 1st. On November 27th, our show is going to be available on HBO Max 5 days a week. So
Oh, that's
there you go.
awesome.
There you go.
Very
Cool,
cool,
man. Congrats. Yeah, so everybody should go over there and bother Eric and say
Yeah.
and say crazy things about Craig Counsell when he's trying to do his job.
He's like, we're talking about football.
Yeah.
Well, I got to produce Dexter Fowler. So any baseball guests we get,
That's right.
Yeah, that's me. I'm on it, and I love baseball and try to bring up as much as I can. So
Very cool. Well, we love your your old manager. That he's our manager. So, but
Oh,
once
and he's
again,
going
I
to
was
win
starting-
Manager of the Year for the first time
yeah,
as our manager.
as he
Yeah.
leaves.
You almost got me feeling bad for you too, a little bit, just because you're making that sorry ass face over there, and I'm just
Hey.
like, my heart's trying to break, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. Do it.
Don't feel bad for us. I will say this. I came into this season. I said, even with Craig, this window was closing and it had to be this year. And we didn't make the splashes we needed to. I'm a realistic fan. I think you guys need to get realistic in terms of how great you're actually going to be in the next 3 years. And that's
Yeah.
the last positive thing I'll say on this
I
podcast.
dare them to prove it to me.
Yeah, prove it. All right, y'all. I'm gonna play 2 songs on the way out because they're both short. One is a Christmas song. It's an old favorite, Ross's Accountability, and then I'll close again with the We Got Craig song. So it's Spagog, y'all.
All right.
Thanks for being here.
ZZ Top.
Ross's accountability. All the nonsense has to stop.
Accountability.
There's no more optional BP, no more Mr. Nice Grandpa.
Hold yourself accountable.
Ross's accountability. If you go out there and stink,
Accountability.
David'll get nasty and mean, and he'll tell you what he thinks.
Accountable.
No more missing signs or sloppy fielding like last year.
Accountability.
If they're thrown out on the bases, Ross will get up in their faces.
Accountable.
Ross's accountability. Let's all be responsible.
Accountable.
Doing their jobs out at Wrigley. Be so accountable.
Accountability. Holding guys accountable.
We got Craig. We stole from the Brewers. He's got a brain that's like a computer. Manager Craig. He knows when to play them. Knows when to pitch hit them. Knows how to use a bullpen. Highly rated. He's not David. Craig Council's all right.